Hello! Hi! We are here today to do the Filipino cuisine book tag. My friend Ace from Peach and Ace tagged me in this book tag, and I'm going to kind of be a broken record and once again tag Justine at Morena Monologues and Isa at Ray or Shine to do this tag as well. Today we're going to talk about some Filipino cuisine and some books that are related to the prompts given by the Filipino cuisine. I am wearing my Morena the Label shirt, which actually comes from the Philippines. It's a completely women-owned brand located in the Philippines, and they do awesome shirts that talk about redefining beauty standards, especially when it comes to deeper skin tones. So I am wearing my I Like My Tan Tita shirt today. I love it so much. I've already gotten compliments on it when I've worn it out, so that's awesome. If you're in the US and you're unable to buy directly from Morena the Label, they actually do have the collection on Kaya Essentials, which is where I bought these shirts, so I will leave links to that below. Other disclaimers: my partner is home right now, so if you're clicking in the background, that's him. I've got my fan on. They're always mowing the grass outside, so that's the noise that's going on today. Hopefully my camera lighting is all fixed. I think I'm on the right settings, so hopefully third time's the charm. Without further ado, let's get started with the tag. Once again, I have all of my notes written down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. First prompt is adobo, and if you don't know what adobo is, what rock have you been living under? Adobo is probably one of the most far-reaching foods, I think. Here in America, a lot of people know about adobo, especially in Hawaii. Pretty much you adobo anything in Hawaii. The prompt is my all-time favorite book, and my all-time favorite book is actually The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe, which is a gothic romance following Emily as she is orphaned and essentially has to live life with an evil stepmother. I don't recommend this book to anyone. It's a long book that definitely should have been edited before it was published. It's my favorite because it's this beautiful story about this girl who essentially travels throughout France after she is orphaned. One of the really cool things that Anne Radcliffe wanted to do with this book was to debunk a lot of the ghost stories that were happening in gothic romances. So this gothic story is kind of a satire in a way. What Emily spends a lot of her time in the book doing is she debunks a lot of the creaks and squeaks that she hears in the castle, and also just goes investigating all of the kind of creepy and weird things that happen while she's there. Again, I don't recommend this book really to anyone. It's my personal favorite book because I just really love gothic romances, and I love both the descriptions of the French countryside and the castle, as well as the story of debunking all of these creepy mystery things that happen. The next food is durian, and durian is a very fragrant fruit kind of thing. A lot of people don't like it. It do smell nasty, but I like it. I think it's a good snack. I actually had durian ice cream, I believe last summer in New York, and that was super yummy. And the prompt with this book is a book I heard a lot of negative things about, but I did enjoy. And for this, I would say Children of Blood and Bone was, or still is, a book that has a lot of positive and a lot of negative reviews all across the board. I know that it's super tropey, and I know that there are issues with the storytelling style and some of the things that go on in the plot. However, I really enjoyed this. Yeah, there are a lot of people who gave this 1 star. They DNF'd it, they hated all the tropes. I personally really enjoyed it. It was definitely different to what I had been reading at the time, so it was definitely a symptom of me reading a lot of white fantasy and then finally migrating into BIPOC fantasy. Really enjoyed this at the time. I think I would still really enjoy this. I also enjoyed Children of Virtue and Vengeance, but other people haven't, and that's okay. The next prompt is pastillas. Pastillas are a dessert that I haven't had in a really long time, if I'm honest. In terms of desserts, I honestly prefer things like flan and turon that are super heavy on like the caramelized sugars. The prompt for this one is a light and fluffy book, and for that I chose The Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigirdar. It's not super light and fluffy. Like, they do deal with themes of racism, cultural appropriation, outing, and whatnot. I love the main character. She's definitely very spunky and frustrating at times, but there's a really good story about sisters in here. There's a cute little sapphic romance. It's a really cute, fluffy book. It was fun to read, and it tackles some really important issues. So I really enjoyed this book and recommend it to you guys as well. Alright, the next food is lechon, which is, I always think of lechon kawali whenever I think of lechon, but lechon is actually just a roasted pig. It's all of the pig. Kawali is, I believe, pork belly with that extra crispy good outside. My partner loves lechon. Like, whenever we go to like Max's or something, he always orders his lechon kawali sisig. We're big fans of lechon in this household. For lechon, the prompt is a book that is problematic, but I still enjoyed. And for me, I chose The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Just, you know, very, very white, dark academia. But I still enjoyed it. I know that people have gripes with the plot and the pacing and whatnot. I'm a little biased. There's a character named Henry in this book, and whenever there's a character named Henry in a book, I kind of simp for it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about it. The next prompt is sinigang, and if you don't know what sinigang is, it's a sour soup. I'm not really a soup person per se, but I do enjoy myself some sinigang every now and then. The prompt for sinigang is an awful character that some folks love. Severin from The Gilded Wolves. I think pretty much everyone hates Severin, and I get it. I totally get it. He's very self-serving at times and very one-track minded, but at the same time, I like him. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I do really enjoy that it's very evident that you can see he cares about everyone else. The idea of losing one of the people in his little cohort, it really destroys him inside. So I like Severin in that sense. I do get frustrated with him as well. I see how everyone hates him, and I'm sure the comments are gonna be like, I hate Severin! And I get it. Trust me, I get it, but also he has some redeeming qualities. The next prompt is cuchinta, which I'm not gonna lie, I've never had before. I'm gonna guess it's a dessert because the prompt is a slow and sweet book, and for that I chose Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune by Roselle Lim. I listened to it on audiobook, and it was a fun little audiobook that definitely felt like, I don't want to say magical realism. The premise of the book is that Natalie comes back from living abroad after her mom passes away, and she wants to revive her family's old restaurant. And one of the things that her grandmother did to make the restaurant successful is that she really poured her heart out into the dishes that she made and put emotion into it so that the food could be healing to the people of the communities. I really loved how we got insights into different people who lived in Chinatown. So this takes place in San Francisco's Chinatown. You get to know different people in the community who are kind of struggling, especially since tourism is not as good in Chinatown anymore. And what Natalie tries to do is she tries to help mend relationships, fix situations, and other kinds of things with her food, which I think is just absolutely beautiful and wonderful. It was a wonderful read, especially in audiobook form, so I highly recommend. The last prompt is pinakbet, which again, I haven't had it yet. The last prompt is an insightful book, and for that I would say pretty much anything by Tiffany D. Jackson, but for now I'm showing you Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. So if you didn't hear me talk about it before, Grown follows Enchanted as she is noticed by a much older, more successful musician who starts a relationship with her that is obviously not okay and not healthy at all. And I would say that all of Tiffany D. Jackson's works are very, very insightful. They talk about things that I think we're all afraid to talk about. I think that Tiffany D. Jackson writes these really incredible, insightful books that, again, talk about things that we don't often talk about, but we need to talk about. So I highly, highly, highly recommend all of her works. Currently, my favorite is still Monday's Not Coming, but I've given 5 stars to both Grown and Allegedly. That is it for the tag. So thank you once again to Ace for tagging me. It was super fun. I kind of exposed my lack of knowledge of Filipino food, but it's okay. It means that there's more for me to try and more for me to love. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.